Hey everyone, we're just gonna, like I said earlier, we're going to just chat about all things dispatching. And I want you guys to ask me some challenging questions, or maybe we can do load board training. I just want y'all to tell me what would be beneficial for us to discuss tonight. If someone has anything in mind, please speak up so we can.
The rate con.
The rate con,
Who
okay.
gives the rate con, and that and the deadhead miles to and from, because I've done one dispatching, but I know about the deadhead, but I still want to make sure I'm not mixing myself up.
Great. That's some great ones. Yeah, we'll definitely cover that.
And isn't all the power of attorney and all of that is supposed to be in the carrier packet, right?
Yes. So, no. Yeah, in our carrier agreement, I can show
carrier agreement.
Yes. I can show you guys a carrier agreement and how to make it a digital form. And we'll do that as well. Carrier agreement. Oh, and you said power of attorney, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a question that I'm looking for the question this girl had asked earlier in the chat. I think she was asking what a dispatcher should be doing or getting from the carrier, I think. Just give me a second to find that question, because I don't think she got her question answered in the chat.
Okay, let's see here.
And for me, I wanted to know, because I don't care about it being hard or difficult, but I would like to know, how are they in order from profitable, I guess. Like which one you may make more off of, which ones you may make the least, and not necessarily about it being hard, but which one you may make the biggest profit.
Yeah, we can go over my equipment chart tonight.
Great question. I love that. That's a
I
good
love
question.
that question too.
Yes. Because there is nothing worse than spending hours on looking for loads and constantly striking out with a specific type, because I'll get all into that. I can go on it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just take the questions, Anna. Don't go into it yet. Get the question.
I got
Come
some
on.
good stuff.
No question is a dumb question or wrong question. Ask your questions. This is how you learn. Ask your questions.
Yeah. Most profitable. Okay, I wrote it down.
The question that girl asked was, when you have a carrier, what questions do you ask them? And she wanted to get a better understanding, and if there was a questionnaire.
Yes, I have a whole section on what questions to ask your new carrier. And in fact, Miss Juanisha, what do you think about doing a carrier recruiting call?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one, and that way y'all can hear the questions I ask them. And yeah, because there is a lot of stuff you need to cover. You need to know if they have tarps, but you'd better not ask a box truck driver if they have tarps. That's silly.
They covered
you
already.
have to know what questions to ask. Yeah, I have a list of it in my guide. In fact, it should be in there under questions to ask your new carrier.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll cover that as well. Questions are, let's do carrier recruiting call. And honestly, the evening time, I've been the most lucky getting people on the phone. And maybe we'll luck out. It really is like the luck of fishing or something. It's just the same type of luck. You either find the right person or you don't. Like, it's just a hit and a miss. So we can try it out. So what tools would someone need? Do you mean, well, like as far as tools go, just a computer, internet. I think that's what you're asking. Hopefully you're asking that. Computer, internet, you don't need a fax machine, and you don't really always need a printer. Printers are great, but like don't go out and rush and buy one. So so the setup that I have is, so here's I have two screens right here, my laptop in the middle, and then I have a printer and like a whole pile of stuff that I use every day for dispatching. This is my pile of stuff, but I have file folders, regular folders with all of my carrier's documents printed in this folder, just in case, because guess what? When I'm on the phone and they need my EIN number, which is not something I have off the top of my head, I'll pull up his W-9 and give it to him right while I'm on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that there's more than one way to organize your stuff, and this would be where you put your dispatching guide, because there is call scripts that I could just read from. Please don't read, please do not read, but I could prop it up just for guidance, and that is something to also keep handy. But whatever system you choose, I'm not saying my system's the only one that works and it's the best. Whatever system you choose, just stick with it and really make sure that you're staying organized. And I have a lot of spreadsheets and charts and all of that good stuff to help keep you organized. How many
Yes.
forms of documents would a dispatcher need? So forms of documents, there's a lot of documents that you handle as a dispatcher. The type of documents, I hope that I'm answering this correctly, normally are all like PDFs, or there's some broker carrier packets that are digital. They're just click through, you fill out the MC number and then you just click through. But as far as documents go, there's PDFs, there is sometimes there's a letter, like an MC authority letter. This is an MC authority letter that we have to have when brokers request it. All kinds of stuff, really. Hopefully that answered your question a little bit, but we'll go into more detail of like what each document is, what each document you will manage as a dispatcher as well. Those are some great things. So, okay, let's start from the top. Now, a rate con. A rate confirmation is when you get a document that obviously has all of the rate information, the commodity, the pickup location, pickup or delivery location. It's a document that a broker sends to you, the dispatcher, and you have to, 9 times out of 10, you have to sign it, turn it back into them, and then your load is booked. It's a done deal. But there's another side to the rate con. The rate con is also something that you give your driver. So the way I actually dispatch my loads is once the load has been secured, which is the signatures turned back in, the broker doesn't need any more paperwork from me, we're good to go. Literally all my driver has to do is show up at the address. So when I dispatch, this is the actual dispatching part, I dispatch the rate con to him via email and via text message. So he has all the information. We're giving him transparent information about the rate and what to expect when you get there. That also might include important information like a purchase order number, PO numbers. That's what it's called, PO numbers. Because when you're picking up, you don't just show up and be like, oh, yes, that's the truck that's waiting, or like nobody knows why you're there. So you have to have a plan. You have to know, you don't just show up. You have actually to give them a purchase order number or some type of identification for them to pick up that specific load. That is a rate con, and I'm going to show you one. I'm not just going to tell you, because part of our program is being able to show you a real life example. And that is super important. We need to be able to share with you. Could you think about anything else with rate cons, Miss Juanisha?
Yes. Yes, we dispatch the rate cons to some of the drivers. Some of the brokers will send you the rate con, but it doesn't have the addresses that you need on it because they want to make sure you sign the rate con first, that you're agreed upon the price, and then they'll send you your locations.
Yep, I was literally just pulling one up that right now as for perfect example. She so TQL for whatever, well, this actually does no, TQL does not give you the full address until after you sign it. Then you're gonna get the full address after you've submitted it. But here's one without the full address, but this is what a rate con looks with TQL, one of the largest brokers in the game. And here's my correct carrier information, the load information. So there's that extra 700. Remember that one? Miss
Yep,
Weinstein?
I remember.
Okay, so won't forget that one. Now,
Nope.
there's appointment time. So that's also important information. You might have, but there's not always going to be times. And here's the part that some dispatchers don't think about. You have to take the extra step. And let's say this time information wasn't on here, then I, as a courtesy, knowing my driver's ETA, I don't just update the broker when they ask when your driver is going to show up. You actually can call the shipper and say, what time are you closing? What's the latest time that you're open? Because the last thing, and it's happened to me so many times, a driver shows up and their facility is closed, or they closed because they're only open till 3 p.m. Not everybody, for some whatever reason, doesn't stay open 8 to 5. Like, they're weird pickup and delivery time hours. Just like some warehouses are only accepting deliveries from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. That's also very common. So these times on the Raycon are also a valuable piece of information.
Make sure you find that time, Central Standard Time, because that's important. The driver get there, oh, nobody's here and stuff. It's not going to get detention pay because you, as a dispatcher, didn't call and check ahead of time. Okay? Always call and check. That's our job. Our job is to be on the phone.
Yeah, it really is. Here's another Raycon just to share with y'all. They're all going to look very differently. And this one was, this is actually a semi-load. This is very important. It's 28 pallets, the freight. And so this gives me all the details. 28, the weight is 31,024 pounds. And so this would actually be something to, obviously we would be dispatching for a semi truck in this case. And this is for a flatbed load. And so, wow, look at that pretty signature. Wow. So there's my signature and they accepted it. So, in this Raycon, for some reason, there is a receiver signature. So I don't know if that means, I believe that means the broker who's receiving the document. So, sometimes they have to sign it too, to make it a done deal. You know, we just have to, consider that.
Exactly. A Raycon is your agreement that you're agreeing upon the price. It's like y'all shaking hands, say, yeah, we agree upon it. That's what that is. Okay.
That's a great way to put it. Shaking hands. You also, I wanted to cover deadhead miles. So once again, I'm going to show you, not just tell you. So, for truck stop specifically, for truck stop, there is, where did it go? Whoops. I'm not picking on the right thing. There we go. Okay. So all of this, you go to truck stop. We're log in. Sorry, I'm not trying to show y'all all my business. Even though you will be up in my business, and that's totally fine with me. So, okay. So we're going to talk about deadhead. Now, Houston, Texas. We'll just pick on this one. Houston. So first of all, I could teach you so many features about this load board, but we would be here all night. And I know y'all want to be here all night, but I don't. But I am so glad that y'all are here. So we'll just cover what we can. So let's pick a decent one. If we can find a good, decent one that is a good rate per mile. Okay. This is for DA, stands for drive away. Don't worry about it. It stands for when they just need someone to drive with a CDL. So this is in the load notes. Check the load notes. It's a Peterbilt day cab. So when it's classified as drive away, I bet a lot of you probably didn't know this was a category, and it's not very common. So
not common.
Yeah, I don't really ever train on it, but there is such thing, and this might blow y'all's mind. There is such thing as a category of people who just need drivers. So they literally just need someone to come hop in this Peterbilt and drive it to Canada. I know it's easier said than done, but so deadhead, this is Galveston, obviously. And you see this little tiny number right here? That is the deadhead miles. So those deadhead miles is something that is not, you see this rate per mile right here? That's not including the deadhead. So a lot of the time you will see rate 325 rate per mile, but you have to calculate this and break it down. So someone pull out their calculator. We're going to do, I'll pull mine out too. So, and this, you don't have to spend, I don't want you to think this is part of the process, because no, we're going to teach you specific ways and techniques on how to do eyeball it. I want you to be able to look at the mileage and know what rate you're going to ask for without having to calculate this. But just for the sake of explaining, so we're going to take the total miles 2306 plus the deadhead. Okay. I know we already know what that is, 2406. Then you divide the rate first. Okay. So clear your calculator, 7,500 divided by 2406. And that's really $3.11, not $3.25. Because you have to include the deadhead. Now, the reason why there is deadhead, and the reason why I want you guys to think dead miles, empty trailer, deadhead. So anytime your driver is going to or from a location, that is dead, empty miles that he is not making any money with. So there's deadhead miles for, there's a origin deadhead miles, which stands for O-DH, and then there's destination deadhead miles. So let's say you go from Galveston, but you're originally from Houston, hypothetically speaking. You're originally from Houston, you pick up a load down in Galveston, and then you head to Canada. Then you find a Canada load that is going to bring you back to College Station, Texas. That is not back to Houston, but I'll take it. I'll deliver it to College Station, Texas, but I'm still going to have a deadhead back home to my original destination, Houston. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
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 Okay. So dead miles, empty trailer, not making money. That is honestly 100 miles of deadhead is too much. You don't want a driver driving more than 50 miles of deadhead. That's our goal. 50 miles or less is the goal. Check. Okay. The final thing is our carrier agreement. Oh, wait, hold on. I've got to show you guys on a different, let me see here. My husband's talking about rate cons in the kitchen. It's really funny because most of my knowledge I actually picked up from him. So Miss Juanisha, do you have your E&J dispatching jot form available handy? Because remember, I was having that issue with jot form.
Yeah, I can get it up. Hold on just a second.
Are you on your computer?
Yep, I sure is.
Right, okay.
Okay, hold on just a second. I'll pull it up. I hope you guys are having an awesome night. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you.
I actually, there's a dispatch agreement that you probably got, Tim, in one of those many, many documents I sent. And a lot of people use PDFs for this. This carrier agreement is the contract between you and the driver. This outlines how you're going to get paid, when you're going to get paid. It outlines how you're not going to get sued and how you're not responsible if things go wrong, blah, blah, blah. This agreement protects us in many, many ways, but the main purpose of it is to collect documents that we need to dispatch, because once they sign that agreement and they upload the documents we need, we can start dispatching for them.
Yep. Almost in, y'all. Had to do some, what is it called? Two-party verification.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to make sure I am who I am. Let's see here.
Oh, and part of that is a power of attorney, like he was talking about. Or no, yeah, I think that was someone. Anyway, power of attorney it's a limited power of attorney, by the way. In the agreement, it literally says for business purposes only, and it is not, you're not giving, the driver's not giving away permission for you to control his medical bill
No.
last dying wish. No, this is a power of attorney that's for documents, and you can sign on his behalf.
Can y'all see?
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
Okay. This is my dispatching agreement for my company.
yes. It goes over carrier responsibilities. And Miss Juanisha can even put this link in the chat for y'all to look back.
Yes,
So
you can.
the carrier agrees to pay the dispatcher the rate of 10%. That is what Miss Juanisha's company charges, but you can put any kind of deal. You could say the first 30 days is this percent, or whatever
Mhm.
deal you want to make up. This
Mhm.
shall be paid every Friday. You see that in all caps, Friday. That means every Friday, you are going to be giving that driver an invoice for the loads you booked that week. That's how drivers get paid. And then you will obviously make sure he has a day or two to pay, and by Monday or something. But just remember, you're going to have to arrange that and have that conversation.
And yep, I want my money on Friday. I want money on Friday. Okay.
Terms. And so this is effective for 1 year, but it doesn't mean they're in a contract. There's no 1 year contract. This just means this agreement's in effect for a year.
Mhm.
And before they let you go, 10 days, they need to give you a 10 days warning. Normally it doesn't work like that, but sometimes we try to make it work, and it will happen. People will let
Yeah.
you go, and you're going to let people go.
Exactly.
It goes over what to do with the bill of lading, the damages, the non-assignment, governing law. All of that stuff is just some good words to make sure nobody gets sued. And then here's your power of attorney. It is, there we go. And at the bottom, as long as you get that signature, hereby
Mhm.
authorize E&J Dispatching to sign on the behalf of our company, blah, blah, blah. And then here's at the bottom. We need to fix this, but that's okay. We can do it later. There's
Mhm.
the upload. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
Mhm.
Here's the file upload part. So from there, they have a list of documents that they need to send into you. And so I'm
Mhm.
going to show you guys through this system. Not only are you making this agreement accessible for drivers who are on the road, but you're making this agreement easy for where all of your submissions and your documents are in one place, organized in a spreadsheet for you to access at any time
Mhm.
through Jot form.
Exactly. It's less work.
And so that's a great one. Thank you, Miss
And
Juanisha.
they email it, and yep, trying to get them to email everything is whew. But to have it all in one place and you just save it to a file under their name, so much easier.
Yes. So, those of you, I'm gonna, one second. Okay. So the next one is equipment type. So let me pull that up for you guys. And I might say, well, I guess this is going to be helpful, but I was going to save it for, there's a lot of it. Just because I'm bringing something up tonight, doesn't mean that we don't still need to dissect that topic and go more into it. I just am giving you condensed versions.
And this will be one, equipment types and how to dispatch for the equipment types. This is something that has to be dissected and explained down, all the way down.
But don't be overwhelmed and think you
Don't.
have to go memorize the weight and length limits and all of that stuff. Don't be too overwhelmed. Just have an idea. What I want you to focus on is what they look like and what they're called. So you know what we're talking about. That's all.
Exactly.
Then when you get a driver who has a reefer or a box truck, that's when you really dig in deep and give that to your driver. Okay, so here we go. And here's the most there's several more that are not on this list, by the way. So there is the regular flatbed, So that is a normal flatbed, F for flatbed. Hot shot, don't pay attention to those cylinders on there, but it's just a regular gooseneck small trailer with a regular size pickup, like a Dodge or a Silverado or a Ford, one of those. Here is what's called a reefer. This reefer has a little system that is literally a refrigerator unit right here. Can y'all see that part?
Mhm.
The
Yes, ma'am.
reefer equipment is I'm actually, to be honest with y'all, I'm kind of nervous to play with the reefers just because there's high risk for claim. You know, your driver does the temperature 1 degree wrong and the whole load is ruined, but it's possible. I've done it before, but it's really a lot of extra details that you need to know. If you will specialize in reefers, great. There's a ton of information for you to make sure that's the right equipment for you. And box trucks. Here's the regular box trucks, regular moving van. They're normally 26 feet in length. Anything less than that, like a 16-foot, if someone comes to you with a 16-foot box truck, just say no thank you. But if you want to practice, you can, but they're just really challenging to do. But
Very hard.
it's not impossible, and you can get great with box trucks, but sometimes there's limitations, and there is absolutely a niche for box trucks because the box truck owners right now, there's so many of them. And I want you to step back and look at this as a business opportunity. So when you are investing in a truck as a driver, if you are trying to pick what equipment type to run with, then it's easier for you to invest in a Sprinter van or a box truck or a hot shot truck, right? Not a $200,000 rig. That's a little extreme. That's why it's not as, it is common, but there's probably a ton of box trucks for every, X amount of 18-wheelers. That's an actual owner operator, So there's our dry van right here, the regular dry van. That's their standard 18-wheeler that we grew up calling them. And it doesn't have that on the back. So just remember that. And then there's your Sprinter vans. So out of these, I believe the question was for you to be able to actually find the most profitable equipment. Now, the reason why there's not a specific answer to that question is because you could get a flatbed driver, which are statistically in the market right now, are the highest price paying equipment types right now is the standard 48-foot flatbed trailers, because flatbed freight is just very common right now and popular. So, but that doesn't mean you would have unlimited earning potential, because it depends on the driver. You might have a flatbed driver, but he's only willing to go 100 miles. Then that really limits your search and really limits your earning potential. Or if the driver doesn't have the right equipment, like tarps, if he doesn't have tarps, then that gives, that limits me even more. Or I might have a flatbed driver that's willing to go over the road, willing to drive anywhere, stay out how many days he needs to. He's really flexible with the rate per mile and all of that stuff. That's the prime time. However, you could also have a hot shot guy, which is statistically less popular for profitability because the trailers range in size. You can be dealing with a little 24-foot hot shot trailer, which I've dispatched for, or you can deal with the max, which is 40-foot, which is also what we deal with every day. So with that being said, these hotshot guys have the versatility to take cars and freight if you get the right driver. Some drivers won't, but if I was a hotshot owner operator, I would always make sure I have cars when I can't take freight. So if you are interested in car hauling dispatching, which is literally like comparing, well, it's not comparing apples to apples. I would say it's like comparing different types of apples, basically. So that is something that you could learn, like 80 cent rate per mile is normal for one vehicle. And that's not something we see on the regular freight load boards, just as an example, because these cars are priced based on if they can have one that takes 9 at a time or 8 or 6 or whatever. So I hope that explains it now. But once again, you could have a variety of profitability for these equipment types. You might have a box truck owner that is willing to drive anywhere and do anything and be flexible and easy to work with and stay out on the road, or, you know, all of that stuff, and has the right equipment like a lift gate and a pallet jack. That is max benefit for him to really utilize, because when you put yourself in these shoes of the driver, they're trying to really maximize profit. And they think when they're hiring a dispatcher, that's going to boost your loads and the income, the revenue that you're generating, right? Because they're hiring us to provide a service that boosts their business. They want to make it worth it. We want to make sure that when we're getting these loads booked, he knows that our service from A to Z is going to be worth his 9% or 8% or 7, you know. Don't go below 7. Don't cut yourself short.
Please don't. Please don't.
It's a lot of work for 7% even.
If they got multiple trucks, then
Yeah.
we could talk.
That's the only time. So when they have multiple trucks, very good point.
I know y'all seen it where everybody said, "Oh, I'll offer you the first one for free." Never work for free, because you could do all this work working for free for their first load, thinking they're going to sign your contract. You done got them paid, and then they decide they don't want to hire you as a dispatcher. Then you just spent an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours working for free, and they're not going to sign with you. Never. I say it again, never work for free, because guess what? Your time is not free. I don't know if y'all saw my little introductory video. I'm a little extra, but I want you to understand your time is precious. You can never get back that time, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Never work for free. All right.
You is valuable. You are smart. You can do this. I have had some hard lessons that have really, you know, I did recently invest in a driver who way underappreciated my services. And I was working so hard for this one specific company that was a part of our internship. I mean, they were the neediest clients that I've had. And then all of a sudden it just, I was going to say that.
You crazy.
But anyway, that I was actually going to mention that too, but it was one of those situations where I had to step back and say, wow, that was not a profitable experience. I wasted time, all of my effort, and for what? Like crumbs? No. And, so we'll teach you ways to have those conversations with your carrier, and what questions you ask your new carrier, which is, drum roll please, the final thing we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm just going to roll the dice and see who we can get on the phone. And,
all right.
And
And nothing says if you don't like that person that you have as a carrier and y'all are not working together good,
yep,
does not mean you have to keep them.
yep.
Say goodbye. You know what? This is the time I've helped you, you've helped me, and we've learned from each other, but I cannot work for you any longer, and fire them.
She's
You don't need no stress.
Mhm,
This job is already stress enough.
mhm.
Okay?
So if you have to fire somebody, is it paperwork or something? You send them
Nope.
for them to sign off on?
No,
or you
ma'am.
just-
It's in your
Just quit
contract.
looking.
It's in your agreement.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you just
Bye-bye.
quit. Thank you, next.
Mm-mm.
I love this is why I love you, Miss Juanisha, because we're both so animated, which is kind of what makes it hopefully it fun for you guys, because I don't want to bore you to death, and I'm sure most of y'all have heard me talk before, but let's try to get lucky tonight with these callers. I'm going to pull a lead from one of my dad's. Well, okay. I have several lead sources. Let's just do truck stop. Okay.
Awesome. Y'all listen up. This is a learning key. See, I was one of Hannah's first students. And when I tell y'all, I was always calling her and asking stuff, and I listened and I asked questions. This is how I learned. And a lot of people like, oh, you was one of her. I'm like, y'all just think because I teach that I didn't sit there and bug the mess out of Hannah. I bugged her. I'm pretty sure she blocked my number twice. But
No.
I learned from her, and listen to how she handled the call and what she asked and stuff. I learned. That's why I tell everybody this. When I went and did this stuff, I paid the $1,000 for the class. God, I was stupid enough to pay all that money. Not once, but twice. Don't laugh at me. But I learned nothing. I learned nothing. I took one class and learned so much more than I learned in all those classes because they just give you a bunch of slideshows and hey, go ahead.
Yep.
I'm like, or they do a recorded video.
Oh yeah.
When I call in Hannah or we did Zoom, I saw her face to face and she answered back. It won't no robot. You know what I'm saying? I hate that kind of stuff.
YouTube
Yeah,
videos
don't you?
are great, but they don't talk back to you.
No, you ever get on hold and stuff, or somebody you listen to a robot telling you what to do and stuff? You be fussing at the robot. That was me, but I couldn't fuss at Hannah because she was right there. She was right. Oh, look. Let's bring it down. Let's condense this. Let me teach you how you learn. I'm a hands-on person. I talk my hands, so sorry, y'all. But she taught me. She broke it all the way down to where I can learn. Because sometimes I be having my moments. You hear what I'm saying? I'm like, And she kept breaking it down to where I can understand. And now I'm going to say I am knowledgeable. I know this, but guess what? Just because I'm an instructor and I'm knowledgeable and I understand this thing, don't think I don't still call Hannah and bug the mess out of her because I do. You can look at her caller ID. Look, Hannah, look, this is what's going on. This is what I'm having issues with.
Well,
This program,
someone like that.
yes, you gotta have somebody that's going to keep you accountable, that's going to keep you on your toes. Because guess what? This business is ever changing. It changes. So there's gonna be new things you're gonna learn through this business. So guess what? You're gonna want somebody that's in the business to teach you it. Am I right?
Yes.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I say that all the time. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I want to make money. I ain't about losing money. And I lost too much money taking them classes that they didn't teach me nothing.
You were so funny.
I'm sorry. I told y'all I was animated. I don't know if y'all saw my little introductory video that I did earlier.
Different
yes,
styles.
two different styles. Hannah is very animated and she's bubbly and I love her. That's my baby right there. I'm a little I'm loud.
But Miss Juanisha's seen me angry and yelling at people on the phone like brokers.
I didn't know she had that in her, y'all. I was like, what?
Y'all just wait. And that's another thing. If I could teach you one lesson and you'd walk away with one thing, just remember in this business, you get to be the boss. Like nobody is working for you. When you talk to that broker and he makes you feel silly for asking whatever question, or he's not budging on the price with a $1.50 rate per mile, then I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to say, I don't mind going to bat with these brokers. And I wanted you to see that too, because we can't just let them, walk all over us. We have to provide this. But what I was going to show you is like, okay, so this list right here was recruiting for 21 drivers over the past 2 months. So I want to show you how big you can scale it. I'm not saying I dispatch for all 21 right now because we don't. That's why I'm sharing this example with you. I'm sharing this example is, yes, I can recruit and I'm good at it, obviously, but I have to have a revolving door. Like half of these guys have come and gone. There's literally only maybe four good carriers out of this whole list that we continue to still work with. It's to no fault of my own. It's just life happens. Trucks go in the shop, you go on vacation, or you can't afford a dispatcher because it's a luxury service. And so there's a lot of factors. So what I have to do as a business owner and as a dispatcher, carrier recruiting should always be a part of your business.
Number one. Always
recruit. You never know. And that's why I always say that this business really is the make or break for this business is all about who you work with. If you work with a driver who's super complicated, then you're not going to see much profit in your business. If you work with a driver who is more flexible and more willing to go all over the place and all of that stuff, then you'll see a max profit maybe. So that is something to consider as well. It's all about who you work with. So these connections, are not just, hey, I want to be your dispatcher. It's like, hey, are you willing to talk to me on the phone 20 times a day? Are you willing to be flexible with me and be easy to work with? Because not all people are people.
Mm-mm.
And if you got that, not all people are, fun to work with and fun to, provide a service for. So with that being said, I want you to keep in mind, and we're gonna just hit the phones real quick.
It's all a part of how you would hustle. That's what I heard.
Hustle.
Y'all heard that? That's a word from the Lord. Hustle.
Word from the Lord. Stop it. I'm dying. That is so funny. Okay, so
Mhm.
hopefully make sure everyone can hear me. Okay, 1 second.
All right.
Oh, and pay attention to my tactics. I'm specifically searching for a driver in my Tulsa area.
I'm putting you on mute. Everybody put your stuff on mute.
Ahoy Logistics.
Person you called has a voice mailbox that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. If you have a mailbox on this system.
Okay, next. And that's a reality, call after call after call. Oh, these guys are in Broken Arrow. So my strategy for this is to get a driver in my area, because something about it, I don't know why, but it's just one of my many strategies. You find drivers that are like, oh, she obviously knows the area, but also it's like supporting a local business kind of thing. It gives you that kind of vibe. 1 second, I'm going to grab my laptop charger.
With this, you want to take note of what questions she's asking, what they are saying back when she asks those questions. Okay, y'all? So, you got to have a question to counteract what they're going to say.
And
So,
literally make
mhm.
details and notes of everything, every detail they give
Mhm.
you. So,
Yep. This is how you learn. Take notes, okay, y'all? All right.
All right.
Forwarded to an automatic voice message.
is like everyone eating dinner or what? So let me try. Oh, I've already talked to those people before. Let's try this one. So in the leads that I'm generating are through a truck stop broker account, where you can search trucks, like specific types of trucks. Like this guy I'm calling is a hotshot guy, and it shows me he's in Tulsa, and he posted that he was empty in the area 2 hours ago. So these aren't really cold calling. These are warm leads. They're not just random people. So let's try this one.
Hannah, do you want to try that guy that I got today?
Yeah, we can give him a call if you want to, for sure. I'm going to try this one first and see what we can do.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, is this A Day Express?
Yes.
Hey, this is Hannah. I am just calling to see if you guys are still looking for loads out of the Tulsa area.
We usually are. The closest guy I have though, he's in Louisiana right now.
Okay. Well, we are actually a dispatching service that provides a lot of loads from wherever your driver needs them from, but we also have broker connections, and we build direct shipper relationships as well for you. Have you guys ever used a dispatching service before?
No.
Okay. And what type of
No.
equipment? You said hot shot, right? Are these all hot shot
Yes.
trailers?
Yes. Yeah. We have, well, we're in the middle of, we have a couple trailers and a couple trucks, but we are in the middle of buying the company from the actual owner. And so when in this purchase, we're only purchasing one truck, one trailer,
Okay.
and then
Gotcha.
all of the whole business with it. So
And what size are these trailers?
the one that we're gonna keep on it's a 40-foot tilt deck with a winch.
Okay, tilt. Awesome. I know I just called you out of the blue tonight. I'm actually local here in Broken Arrow. Are y'all based out of Tulsa?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So we're neighbors. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. We actually specialize in hot shot equipment, and I know sometimes it's challenging to get a driver out of a certain area. And what me and my team do, we don't just scroll the load boards and things like that, but we really try to be proactive in finding the best rate per mile, finding the best broker connection where maybe we can get some dedicated routes for you guys, or
Right. Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah, I just wanted to, explain our
Okay.
services and maybe get your email
And-
address.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If I give you my email, if you could send some stuff. So it's amber@adayexpress.com.
At adayexpress.com. Now, do you have CDL drivers with these hot shots?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, like typically right now I've got the owner, he'll drive occasionally, and then I have 2 drivers. But once we start the purchasing part, like he's selling the other trucks and he's ready to retire. He just sold all his FedEx routes, like
Oh, wow.
so yeah. So
Okay.
he's just ready to have him time. So
Right.
but yeah, my husband is pretty much the driver because me and him are gonna buy it.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, he's got a CDL.
Awesome.
And then our
Awesome.
trucks are registered different than most hot shot companies. We're registered to haul 54,000 pounds, like
54,000.
altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That really opens up the opportunities. Now, are these drivers like over the road, or they only want to be home every other night?
No, my husband, well, right now it's just pretty much my husband driving while we're doing the sale.
Right.
But he's been over the road for 16 years, so this is
wow.
nothing new to us.
I bet he is tired. Oh my goodness. My dad just got off the road with his hot shot after being on there for a year, and he was done. Like,
Yeah,
it's
my
hard.
husband, if he's home too long, he's like, I need a load. I need a load.
Oh, really? He wants to work.
Yeah, it's just all we've done for so long that
Yeah.
our kids are now grown and gone, and
Aw.
just I spent the summer on the truck with him, dispatch, doing the whole office right there in the truck.
Wow. That's impressive,
Yeah.
because I know it's not easy.
No, it was not. It's very frustrating because I'm like, there's no room. I have nowhere to put anything.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
I found your number, because I really think what we're offering here is something that you guys could take advantage of and really benefit from. When you do get stuck, it's not, you don't have to use
Right.
our services every single time, or, let us you tell us where we can fit in your business. And I'd love to sit down and maybe chat with you and your husband about what we can do and how we
Okay.
can get the ball rolling.
Okay. Yeah. I would. As soon as I get him in, I can give you a call because
Yeah.
I would like to sit down and discuss it just for the fact I'm in the middle of writing a business plan, and this would
Oh.
alleviate some of the duties
Yes.
of a 2-person show. You know what I mean?
Yes. And when something goes wrong, it's so much easier when you have somebody to help you fight the fire, or,
Yeah.
call and chew out the broker, or, something's always surprising in this business. And
Yeah.
we would love to be along for the ride.
Awesome. Yeah. If you want to email me some
Yeah.
info, and then get him in, I will sure reach out and we can
Thanks.
go over some things.
Okay, Amber. Well, I'm Hannah, like I said, and I'm really excited to talk with you guys, and I'll be in touch. I
Okay.
can actually probably text this number if that's easier for you. And
Yeah. This is my cell, and so you can text, or I do it all from my living room.
wow, I know. Isn't that crazy what you can do from your living room? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Amber, for your time, and we'll be in touch
right,
very,
thank
very
you.
soon.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay, that was, did y'all hear everything? Okay, good.
Did you get the email?
Yes, I did. I wrote
Awesome.
down her phone number too.
That was perfect.
That was very, and she was so sweet. And with that, Hannah was so personable. So you never know who you're going to get. You never know. This lady just told her, look, he just trying to get out of the business and we just trying to buy this company and stuff. She's very sensitive. So you got to be sensitive and personable with her. But it's one of those straightforward people that just spitting out facts and stuff. You got to spit out facts with them. You adjust to whoever you're talking to. Okay?
I feel like
Are the calls always that easy, or that was just lucky that we got
some
that
of them you're working.
Okay.
yeah, some of
Some
them
of
are
them
like,
just spit
what are
straight
you
facts.
charging?
No, you gotta, know your facts when you speak to them. Some of them you gotta know your facts. Some of them they're very easygoing. She was very easygoing, and she like really, hey, we're just trying to do this, we're trying to do that, and that's a great carrier to have. Her husband's over the road, and he's home for like
Mhm.
a day, and he ready to be out on the road. That's the perfect customer to have. Somebody that don't mind driving, don't mind being on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't seem pressured at all.
None.
And that I really kept it pretty easy, like to
Mhm.
where I wanted to keep the questions rolling, to keep the conversation rolling and not just wait for her to give me information, just like, oh, okay, well, those are probably CDL drivers, or,
Mhm.
those questions I was specifically asking. Now, 40-foot tilt trailers are like it's on a hydraulic lift, and those
Mhm.
are good for containers. So, with a winch, that's also, do you hear her? She spit out, I said, oh, what kind of equipment is this? And she immediately said 40-foot tilt trailer with a winch. You have to know those.
Show your notes, Hannah, because I was telling you, while you're on
Yeah.
the call, you should be taking notes. Show your notes. You
So
see
right
Hannah
here,
writing her notes?
right here, I put their phone number and everything, and these
Mhm.
are my notes. Don't look at my notes.
Whatever they're spitting out to you, write it down, because sometimes they like hearing you when you recall what they just told you about them. That sells them. They like hearing that. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, you're
All right.
right. And so, that was just, a perfect example. And, I'm excited. I'm gonna obviously follow up with them later today and have my intern team give us, we're gonna call them first thing in the morning. She said her driver was stuck in Louisiana. I forgot to write that down. Hold on. Driver stuck in Louisiana. Stuck
I
in
think I saw a couple of loads out of there too. So even in your days off or you ain't got nothing to do, always look at the load boards. You can schedule something for the next 2 or 3 days.
yeah.
Always check it out. It's kind of like I check out the load boards more than I do my Facebook and my other social media.
Yeah.
Becomes an addiction, don't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we kind of reviewed what we wanted to go over. I have my notes and stuff, but I just was going to take this time to answer any questions you have. I've been sitting in that dang chair all day long. So,
check out your chat, Hannah.
okay, let's check
All right.
out the chat. So, I don't mean to take y'all for super long. I guess I have been on here almost an hour. Okay. Always take note. Yes, that was a good call. Cool. How many forms? No, I don't see any message. Do y'all have any other specific questions about the call, or because the key to this is going to be in the follow-up, so we're going to go ahead. I need to just get that Jot form membership, I guess. And because all of my forms are shut down right now, so I got to get them up and running anyway. But okay, so other than that, oh, the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is about our mentorship information. I wanted to put a link in the chat. I know some of you guys on here are planning to join the boot camp, but this will give me an idea for those who want to join our mentorship, which is more personable, and we can make calls on your behalf and really recruit for your company and make this a custom experience for you. So I'm going to put that in the chat.
Yes, I utilize that because she helped me get a couple of carriers.
Yes, Mr. Curtis
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
And
I want to utilize all of it, Hannah, but
utilize it all.
I'm gonna bring Jacob with me from here on out for the
Bring
rest of
him
the
on.
classes.
Come on, Jacob. Come on,
Jacob
Timmy.
is
Let's
my
do this.
one of my young guys from the Discord and stuff like that. He's got a lot of potential, so we're molding him to do a lot of stuff.
come on with it. If you're not shy, or you know what, I'm gonna break that shyness. Come on with it. We're gonna talk.
He's a good,
But,
he's
you
a
know,
good guy.
all right. Nice to meet
Hey.
you, Jacob, and nice to meet you, Timmy. Everybody, nice to meet you all. You know
Yes.
what? This is about building something for you and your family. When I called to Hannah, I told her I wanted to build some generational wealth. I want to leave my kids something. Matter of fact, not only my husband does this with me, I've been training my daughter and she's 14 years old. This is going to be a family company.
Nice.
You hear what I'm telling you?
Nice.